Hi, my name is Lisbeth Ramirez. This is my final exam presentation for English 1102 for the spring 2026 semester. Two of the main concepts that I learned in this course were femininity and human nature. These two concepts stood out to me the most because they are so subjective. Femininity in a lot of the stories is tackled in many different ways. In stories like A Rose for Emily, The Storm, Trifles, and The Chrysanthemums, we get to see just how much it impacts women when their femininity is not acknowledged and is even restricted. It led Emily and Minnie Wright to want to take control of their lives and kill their significant others because all their lives, their femininity had been restricted, though in different ways. It also led Calixta and Elisa to look at other people to awaken their femininity because their husbands did not. Additionally, the theme of human nature was very prominent in almost all of the stories. Getting to see the perspectives of so many contrasting characters made the stories all the more interesting. It also allowed me to view the world through different lenses, like in the stories Cathedral and Oedipus Rex, which were about understanding those different from us. I believe it gave me more insight into how I, myself, might even show prejudice. The most difficult part of the course was the assignment format. Initially, I was stumped every time I would get my assignments back with low grades because of my organization or my formatting was wrong. Even when I consulted the forum and rewatched the first team session, it was really a matter of me paying closer attention to my assignments. I would spend at least a good 10 minutes just making sure I had the right word count, quotes in every section, and more. In the end, I believe I caught on and was able to get it right every time. I spent about 4 to 5 hours on this course per week. I would typically read the text on Monday before the assignment was due, which took about 45 minutes to an hour for the short stories and about 2 hours for the plays. Then, on Tuesdays, I would watch the teams meetings, which lasted about 45 minutes. I unfortunately could not actually attend them as I had a class that overlapped with the meeting times, but I always made sure to watch them before starting the assignment. Then, I would spend around 2 to 3 hours actually working on the assignments. This part took the longest, as I would write down my ideas out on paper and then type them into the document. I feel like I think better when I write things down. The thing I was most surprised by was that the authors can be very political, and that their views heavily shine through in their writing. I noticed this mostly in feminist literature, especially when taking into account the time period in which they were written. I knew people wrote about politics, but I thought it was more explicit and less implied than in the stories we read. Even some stories that didn't seem to be about politics still had underlying messages, which I found interesting. Overall, I really enjoyed this course. It was far from easy, and at times I felt a little bit hopeless. Despite this, Professor Prokowski was very helpful throughout the course. I feel like I have a better understanding of how to approach my writing. Additionally, my favorite part of the course was really diving deep into the conflicts in the stories. In most of my previous English classes, we mostly focused on the themes and messages of the stories, so seeing the conflicts between characters was really insightful and allowed me to really look into the psychology behind each character. Due to this, some things that I would previously consider immoral were more understandable, and I was able to empathize with the characters. Thank you.